Welcome to another installment of Let's Try and Judge Music via some convoluted criteria that doesn't really matter. What word has the best songs? For example, the word summer. How many popular tracks include this word in its title, and are those songs classics by any means? There's Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams, which is fine in my opinion, but it is well known. We've got Summer Breeze by Seals and Crofts. That's an all-time great, chill, feel-good track. Summer by Calvin Harris is generic, but a hit. All Summer Long by Kid Rock is a thing. I like the music in Grease a lot, so Summer Nights. You get the gist. Is this an amazing collection of songs? No, not really, probably like a 4 out of 10, but this question, this little game that I've created for myself, is what I've been obsessing over recently, and here are my rules for everybody playing along at home. The songs that are included on the list for a given word must be some combination of popular, maybe significant, and hopefully high quality, but the emphasis is more on the well-known aspect than the quality aspect, i.e. Summer Soft by Stevie Wonder is a better song than any of the summer songs that I initially mentioned, but which would a random person on the street have a better chance of knowing? This or this? I'd prefer things to be kept to the exact word that's being brought up, so if you're doing want, then there's no wanted, or if it's good, then no goodbyes. The true winners here are gonna be the words with like 5+ incredible legendary tracks that everybody and their sister could sing a few words of, but to make things even more interesting, words like I, a, and the seem lame in this context, so the champions will be more eclectic than basic stuff like that. And then Love is already in the Hall of Fame for this before we even begin. I'm gonna go through and show you my work so far, tell you which words I found that do or do not deserve to be in the conversation, and if I ever miss a song that could have been included, I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments. For whatever reason, the first thing that came to mind for me was Tonight, because I feel like I've heard that in a million songs before. Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight is a worthy shout. The Way You Look Tonight by Frank Sinatra is undeniable. Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King by Elton John was a good pull, but then I started crumbling a little bit. My girlfriend recommended Tonight Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins, which I think is maybe a tier below what we've had so far. Eric Clapton's Wonderful Tonight is cheesy, but it works, and that's all I got. The songs here are solid, but there aren't too many of them. 6 out of 10. Next, I started thinking about the different kinds of reasons for writing a given song and what words would be attached. Like Alan Menken and Howard Ashman wrote what they called I Want songs for Little Shop of Horrors, The Little Mermaid, etc., with the narrator describing their aspirations in life, so I took that idea literally and did want. I Want You, She's So Heavy by the Beatles, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, and I Want to Break Free by Queen are all massive, widely loved classics. Reception for stuff like I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys and All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey will be a little bit more mixed, but I like them and those are both multi-platinum. I Don't Want to Know by Fleetwood Mac and I Want You to Love Me by Fiona Apple are personal favorites of mine. Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing is as theatrical as can be, and then we've got signature songs of the 80s like Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper, Don't You Want Me by the Human League, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World is close enough that I had to mention it. Wants is gonna be hard to beat. Let's say 8.5, and PS, is anybody else's brain starting to think that these words aren't real when you look at them this much? Want, you know? My segue into the next category was the thing a songwriter would often want, their love interest, which could more informally be known as their baby. The template of baby, whatever, has some heavy hitters. Baby One More Time by Britney, Baby I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton, and Baby You're a Rich Man by the Beatles are all welcome inclusions in my eyes. Pet names like Baby, Honey, or Darling were everywhere in the 60s, and that period gave us Be My Baby by the Ronettes, and Baby Love by the Supremes. Justin Bieber's Baby is the obvious choice, and that's the perfect foil of commercial success versus a lack of critical love. Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey is an R&B anthem, and I also feel inclined to mention meme songs like Ice Ice Baby and Baby Got Back for some reason too. You would be able to find more Baby songs, but not many that deserve to make this list. This is decent, but nowhere near the previous group. Let's say 6.5 out of 10. Let's try one of the most basic adjectives there is. Good. This one has a nice blend of unforgettable historic tracks and first-rate modern hits as well. Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, Feeling Good by Nina Simone, and I Feel Good by James Brown could probably rival any trio of picks for a respective word. These are all building blocks for where we are today that are also timeless. On the recent end of the spectrum, Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo was instantly dominant when it dropped last year. Good Morning by Kanye West has cemented itself as a definitive hip-hop album introduction. You could write a book about Feel Good Inc. and its impact, etc. We've got nostalgic anthems like Good Riddance by Green Day and It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. It'd be hard to find an indie rock classics playlist that doesn't include the Arctic Monkeys, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, and I also need to mention stuff like Only the Good Die Young by Billy Joel, You're No Good by Linda Ronstadt, and You Know I'm No Good by Amy Winehouse. Rating these individual lists is gonna be very subjective, obviously, but good versus want would be a battle, in my opinion. I'm gonna say 8.5, maybe 9 for good. And perhaps I'm wrong, but I feel like this video will start to get real old real fast if it hasn't already, so here's a lightning round. Go has Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham, Don't Go Breaking My Heart by Elton John, and he also has Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Prince's Let's Go Crazy, and Hall & Oates with I Can't Go For That. A few gimmicky songs in here, but I like go being a word that might not easily come to mind. 7 out of 10, whereas something like When is bound to have a billion songs with it in the title. When We Were Young by The Killers, When You Were Young by Adele, When I Come Around by Green Day, My Bloody Valentine's When You Sleep, When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish, When I'm 64 by the Beatles, Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day, Prince's When Doves Cry, Percy Sledge When a Man Loves a Woman, When I'm Gone Eminem, etc. I'm gonna say 8, maybe 8.5. I tried out Have and was very disappointed. Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, I Have Nothing. And then, I don't know. And let's finish with these last two groups that share a few songs with each other. Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, AC/DC, Back in Black, Jackson 5, I Want You Back, Tom Petty, I Won't Back Down, Drake, Back to Back, Oasis, Don't Look Back in Anger, The Beatles, Get Back, and the Backstreet Boys, Everybody Backstreet's Back. Good group. I thought Back was a good shout for a fun word. Maybe another 8.5 or a 9. Finally, Back to Black Amy Winehouse, Back in Black AC/DC, Blackbird by the Beatles probably doesn't count, Paint It Black by the Stones, Welcome to the Black Parade MCR, Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden, Black Water Doobie Brothers, That Black Horse and the Cherry Tree Song, Black or White Michael Jackson, and Say It Loud I'm Black and I'm Proud by James Brown. Same thing, another great group here, but my brain is mashed potatoes at this point trying to make sense of anything with these ratings. 9? Probably. It's great. Let me know down in the comments if you think you have any words that have better and more iconic groups of songs than what I've mentioned. Check out the recent live session I shot with May Simonis, and thanks for watching. Hey, thank you for watching that video. If you want to support the channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media at RenshawHS. You can buy my merch, support my Patreon, and thank you again. I'll see you soon.